This is the inside of one of my very first props. Actually, it may even be my first prop dating back to 2005. Thing in a box. When triggered, the prop has smoke, light, sound, and in an upgrade this year, I actually added some motion to it where the lid bounces up and down. This is it's a windshield wiper motor that makes the lid bounce up and down as it turns. The two wheels you see there just hit against the inside of the lid and lift it up and down, giving the motion and a little bit of a thump to the lid. Here you can see the electronics that go into making the whole thing work. On the right here is a Prop 1 controller from EFX Tech. Next to that is an AP8, which I discovered this year has been discontinued. But that is the sound effects module. It has a built-in audio amplifier. The two black wires you see at the bottom there head out to the speaker, which is over here in this corner. And next to that is the RC4 board, which is a 4-relay board. And the red, black, and white wires you see there are the serial communications coming out of the Prop 1. So it can communicate with the RC4 and the AP8 board. The gray cylinder there is actually a piece of PVC conduit. On the back of it is an infrared module. The PVC conduit, it shields the infrared motion detector so that it doesn't detect motion too much from the sides. It's more of a front on. In the middle here, you can see a red light. This is actually an underwater light made to go in the bottom of a pond or something like that I got from Harbor Freight Tools. Over here you can just about see underneath the speaker is a little AC, a 12-volt AC transformer that powers the light. The transformer receives its power from one of the relays over here. Next to the relay module here is a smoke machine, and in this corner we have a fan. You can also see behind the fan is where the power comes in, little terminal block there to help me distribute power. The fan outlet is switched. The other half of that outlet is constant power to power the smoke detector or smoke machine. And then the smoke machine is controlled by one of the relays on the RC4 board. The other relay on the RC4 board goes to this temporary hookup right here, mainly because I ran out of time this year and didn't have time to set it up, to power the power supply, which is that black box there. That is what powers this motor. So there's a relay for the motor, a relay for the fan, a relay for the light, and a relay for the smoke. That's all four of them. This is the first upgrade that Thing in a Box has had, and it was brought out partially because the smoke machine died. The original smoke machine died, and I had to replace it with a new one. Well, the new one has some different characteristics to the way it produces smoke. So I had to change the programming code, and seeing as I couldn't locate the original code for the Prop 1 controller, I had to write new code. And as long as I was writing new code, I figured I might as well go ahead and incorporate some things I have been wanting to do for a couple of years now, namely adding the motion. Now, of course, with the motion, previously I would just prop the lid partway open, and that would be it. Well, now, since the lid's going to bounce up and down, I figured I might as well go ahead and at least partially chain it closed, and we'll see that here in just a moment. And here we are. Thing in a Box is now all buttoned up. Of course, if you're chaining something up, you probably want to padlock it closed to make sure that whatever's inside can't get out. I'm thinking of adding another chain going across the other direction. We'll see how it goes this year. With tomorrow being Trick or Treat, I am actually kind of running out of time. Now, I have it plugged in right now so it can warm up and get ready to go so that I can show it to you in action. The chain is actually attached fairly simply. All I did was put an eye bolt in the back here, as you can see, and then a little clip on there to just kind of hold that end of the chain in place. There's the same thing underneath of it in the front edge, so the chain doesn't really wrap the whole way around. When this is set up for Trick or Treat night, you don't actually see the back of it or the bottom of it, so that's not a problem. This also, one of the other things I'm thinking I might want to do, The chain, it doesn't behave quite as good as I would like it to, so I'm thinking I might replace the clip underneath with a spring so that the chain will have some tension on it always, but still be able to move with the box lid as the box lid is triggered. Now, part of the effect is a time delay. It's made so that you can't force it to trigger. When it first detects motion, it waits for a random amount of time before it actually starts up its sequence. And then when it is all done with the sequence, which also runs a random amount of time, it will wait another random amount of time before it stops, or before it resets rather, and then once it's reset, it can be triggered again. So let me give it a little bit of motion here and walk in front of it. Hopefully that was enough for it to see me. Now I can take it up to 10 seconds before it actually does anything. That's what the start delay is. Alright, now that it's turned on, let's see if we can get it to trigger. It has a delay when it first starts up because the infrared motion detector needs a little bit of time to acclimate itself. So there. Oh, and there it goes. And now it's in its recycle period where it's going to sit there and wait a little bit. It actually looks a lot better when it's not quite so bright. And we'll turn off the shop lights here. And it has up to a 30-second delay before it can be re-triggered again, so we'll give it a few moments here. And now, see if we can kick it off again there. See if we can make it go off again. Let me walk over here just to make sure that it sees me. Now imagine if you're a trick-or-treater at about this level, and this thing's now snarling at you and growling at you with that glowing red light inside. So that is Thing in a Box.